and welcome to November 2023 Coffee and Card. We're on week 2 using the Joy to You stamp set. It is my favourite stamp set in the new mini catalogue. You can do so much with it. And I'm Linda from lindaspapercraft.co.uk. So this week we're making this card and we're going to use the designer series paper with the very pale Lost Lagoon trees on it. So in your kit you will have this silver trim. It comes in a pack of silver and gold, and it's an online exclusive, so you can only buy it off the website or only see it in the website. It's not in any of the catalogues, but it's really good. Online exclusives tend to only be available as long as stocks last. However, it does seem to be several months. So you've got a piece of smoky slate in your kit and 2 pieces of basic white, a Lost Lagoon, tent fold, card and your envelope. And you've also got this little die cut, which I've used the Something Fancy dies, so the dies that go with the Something Fancy stamp set, and it's the third, the middle one, sorry, of these. There's loads of little labels in it. It's really nice. So you will need to cut for yourself 3 pieces of designer series paper, and they are 7.5 centimeters high, and you can see they've all come from the same piece, 7.5 centimeters tall, and then 3.5 centimeters wide. And I'm just turning over the middle one, so you don't have to keep them in order because they're not going to flow across because you're turning over the middle one. And I think it looks nicer with the darker paper at the bottom. Okay, so I am going to start by making this piece. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue these on. And what I tend to do is I just arrange them roughly-ish where they're going to go. And I tend to do the outside 2 first and then the middle one. Then you can make the gaps in between more even. So and then you're just doing the same gap top and bottom and on the right there, oozing out a little bit there. And fairly new glue. I always take the label off because I end up in a right sticky mess if I leave it on the Tombow. Right, so there's that one. And nearly put the glue on the wrong side then. I mean, you could have 3 with trees on if you wanted, or just leave it as it is. And as I said, I wanted the darker speckly area at the bottom, but it's up to you. So I'm just lining those up so it's in between the other 2. Okay, so probably gonna, I had it a little bit over to the right, left rather, and then I pushed it too hard and it went too far over to the right. So we shall do that again. That's the thing with the Tombow, because it takes a little time to dry. You do have a little bit of wiggle room. There we go. So as we say, it's handcrafted, not made in a factory in China. So it's not going to be absolutely exact. So I'm just going to get my stamp and seal now, and I'm going to put some sort of about 1/3 of the way down on the back, she says. There we go. And I'm going to take, now, as I say, I didn't do that ribbon, that bow was tied separately. Okay, so what I'm going to do is glue down, I'll stick that to my stamp and seal, take it round so it's even, and then stick it on the back. So it looks more or less, oh, I pulled it off. It looks more or less even to me. Don't you stick on it. So I'm pressing it on a little harder now. Okay, and then you trim that, and then you use this, your remaining bit, to make your bow. Ribbon scissors. Okay, so I'm just trimming that off. Okay, and then I'm going to do a bunny ears bow. So, and the thing is, when I first started card making, I thought you just tied a bow, people just tied a bow and it'd be perfect. And you know what? This is not the case. So I've made 2 bunny ears and I'm just tying them in a knot. Go. There is an added, it's been a bit like, you know, on a quiz show, when you're watching it, you can answer every question, but when you're actually on it, your mind goes blank. It's like tying a bow on camera is always harder than tying it in real life. There we go. And so basically, they don't just happen, don't pretty bows. They have to be played with so that you can get the size and shape that you want. And then and I try and make the tails just a little bit longer than the bow itself, because I think it just looks more balanced that way. Okay, and then I'm going to use a couple of glue dots to stick that down. Okay, so there we go. Trying to see where, oh, there we go. So I'm just literally sort of off to one side slightly and lift it up, and then over on the other side slightly. And lift it up. And then, oh, just twisted that one. It is actually stuck on the glue dot, that's why. Told you, as soon as you put a camera on. Okay, and I'm just putting it sort of in the middle of that panel there. Okay, there we go. Don't press too hard because you'll stick it to there. Okay, so I'm just going to turn that over so it doesn't stick down again and stamp my sentiment. So I'm using Lost Lagoon. Those of you who've got soft succulent, that will work as well. It's a little bit lighter, but it tones really nicely. Okay, so just going to be wishing you a Merry Christmas. And stamping that onto the die cut. Oh. So I didn't quite ink up the bottom there properly, I was rushing a little bit, but do you know what? I like that ombre effect. As I say there, I just love these. I love them, I love them, I love them. Right. Okay, so that's that done. So now the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, again, I've embossed. So on the original, I've used the crosshatch embossing folder. This one, I've decided to go with the Merry Melody, which is here. And there is, if you look on here, there's some treble clefs and bass clefs and some numbers. So it's important which way up you get this when you use it. So the bottom of the embossing folder is the bottom of the embossed image. Okay, so, and if you make sure you do it sort of up to that edge, then you get these, so it's really easy to see which way up you want to put it. So the first thing, I'm just going to glue this onto here. You'll be amazed how many different glues I've got. Oops. There we go. And then I'll glue the middle one. Still my favourite. Okay. So if you want to, you can stamp one of the other sentiments like peace and joy to you and yours, or stamp a different sentiment in the middle using some of your other stamp sets. It's up to you. Usually I would stamp before I glue that in, but I'm going to come back and stamp that later. Okay, so, and now I'm going to get my dimensionals out because everything now is on dimensionals. Now I was watching a video the other day, and the girl I was watching, whose name escapes me, no, she was saying that if you double dimensional, so if you have two things on dimensionals, you'll still get it through a standard letterpost in the UK. I'm not sure I agree with her. I think you do need a large letter if you've got two on. So, but I think probably what I'm trying to say is check. Don't just assume if you've put 2 layers of dimensionals on a card, it will go through. You can buy really cheap rulers actually that have got slots in. I've got this one. So it just shows whether it'll go as a normal or needs to have the extra postage of a large letter stamp. Okay. So just going to pop that just in the middle there. And then this is on dimensionals too. They are right in front of me, obviously. So two corners in the middle. Our dimensionals are really robust. They don't squish easy. And then I just added that in the middle of the other 2 sections, and there we go. How beautiful are they? Nice and simple card, a little bit of bling, just how I like them. Hope you've enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks a lot. Bye.